Well, welcome to our Move the Needle podcast today.
Yes.
It's episode number 47, Steve.
Honestly, my favorite number.
Really?
It was my football number in high school, my hockey number. My son adopted it. I was in early 47. It's got quite popular, interesting enough, especially in hockey. But back then, nobody wore it. I was and then when... lovingly in the adult league, they would nickname me 747 with the big turns instead of the stop and starts. I love that.
That's so good. Well, we have an incredible show. We're live from Craft 64 in Scottsdale. We're doing the craft tour this week.
Yes,
aren't we?
we are. A lot of pizza.
We've got Janie Peters, who's going to join us on our show today. We've got Cecilia Berkley, who's just one of the more dynamic people you're ever going to meet in your entire life.
Exciting.
On the show. But we're going to start in the Blue Zone.
Yes.
With Sarah Kearney, who is the executive director for the Blue Zones Project Scottsdale.
Correct.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for
Yes,
having
thank
me.
you.
So, wait, I caught wind that your son's a hockey player, too?
He is,
All right, so we're both big into the hockey
this is great.
scene.
Well, I'll fit
Yes.
right in then.
Nice.
Where does he play?
So he played for 5 years for the Arizona Bobcats,
Okay.
and then
Oh,
now
nice.
he's a Knight. So he's he's going into his first year of bantam hockey.
Okay, so he's
as
getting ready for high school.
So he's going into 8th grade, but
Yeah.
he has made the Tier 2 team over at AHU. So
Love
it's
it.
our first year. I'm terrified, but
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
It's exciting. Yeah. I
It's
was
where all the physicality starts.
Exactly.
I was
yes.
that was my background. I coached, which would be the Sun Devils organization, now
yeah.
the Junior Sun Devils. That was
Absolutely.
our organization. It was called the Firebirds at the time,
Okay.
the old school barn that's now knocked down. And so that was my background. Me and Mathew, we have a love for the sport as well. We both coach. I coached in 2010 to 15 at Desert Vista.
Okay.
He's now the
I
president.
run the
He
program at
coached, and
Desert Vista,
the head
so I run the
honcho,
high school
yeah.
hockey program.
So we had that
Alright.
in common too. But I'm a hockey. Especially right now, we're in the midst of let's call it like the hotbed, the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And let's make a quick prediction since we're talking. Before we get off the hockey tip, it's Edmonton, Florida. Well, I think I have a inkling who you're going for, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Who is it?
So we're rooting for Edmonton this year.
Yeah.
I'm wrong because you said
Yeah,
you had
well,
your Florida
she's
roots.
from
Yeah, I do
Florida.
have Florida roots.
But okay.
Yeah.
Have they had enough? My answer is
Right.
yes.
Okay, so
and it's
you-
time for Connor McDavid to get a trophy.
Okay, so Edmonton, and do I have to say, I'm just going to go on the other side and make him wait because I think Connor McDavid is going to be maybe, he's obviously a living legend, may become the greatest he already is one of the greatest. And I
Who's
think
your
he's got
prediction,
plenty of time. Florida.
Okay.
Just because of that.
All right.
Just because of that.
Okay,
We can't all be Edmonton. I got to go on the other side.
I don't know. You don't have to.
Yes, I do.
So
Well-
do you guys still play too?
No.
Okay.
I did 2017, but no, I hung him up and I thought I'd be back. I had one knee surgery,
Okay.
and that was it. I started doing other things.
So-
What about you? You playing?
No, I don't play, but my husband does play.
Oh, does he?
So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so he
We've probably seen him out
Saturday
there.
Night Beer League. You can
Yeah,
find him.
We've seen him out there before, I'm sure.
Well, she's not here to talk about
Yes, I
I'm
know.
not,
I
but
got
I could.
Yeah, although it's a fun thing to talk
I
about.
love
The Blue Zone.
Yes.
This is so cool and so exciting. And for anybody who this is the first time they've just heard about the Blue Zone, give us the basic definition of it.
Absolutely. So Blue Zones Project Scottsdale's mission is to empower everyone everywhere to live better longer. We do that by taking the foundational principles from the original Blue Zones, which are the world's longest lived places that were founded by our founder and National Geographic researcher and fellow Dan Buettner. So over the last 25 years, he and teams of scientists and demographers have been doing this research. And so what we're doing here in Scottsdale is because of Honor Health, the Cigna Group, and Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona, we're able to make the healthy choice the easy choice in the places we spend the most time. So where we live, work, play, pray, and that's what we're doing to make just a happier and healthier Scottsdale in a very high level overview.
It's so cool. You got to watch there's a documentary out about Blue
Okay.
Zones, and they talk and they go into all these places where people live to like 105, but they're the healthiest, happiest people on planet Earth, and they interview them and they figure out what they need and what they're
Circle
doing.
that and then say, what are they doing?
What are they doing? And that's
Right.
what Blue
Makes a lot
Zones
of-
are trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. and we're actually doing and hosting a Netflix watch party on June 14th at Civic Center Library here in Scottsdale. And we're going to watch all 4 parts, and we're going to do some activities and win some prizes in between. So if you haven't already seen the Netflix docuseries Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zones, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just really exciting. And so let's go a little bit deeper on that.
Yeah.
Blue Zones in Scottsdale. Are we one of the first in Arizona?
So we are the first in Arizona to embark in Blue Zones project work. But this work and this community transformation work has happened in over 75 communities across the country. So we're not the first to do it, but we are the first in Arizona.
Was there a lot of pushback initially where people were like, nah, this is stupid, we don't need this? Or were people like, bring it on?
Surprisingly, unbelievable community support.
Oh, great.
Yes, so it has been well supported since the inception when Honor Health invited Blue Zones in to do a full assessment and kind of readiness feasibility study to see if Scottsdale was a good fit.
Yeah, my question is along that line. What does a day look like? You know, what does that look like when you wake up creating these? So explain me, like in the simplest sense, what this looks like every day.
So we work in kind of 3 sector areas is the best way to break it down, and in our life radius. Again, average American spends the majority of their time within about a 20-mile radius of their home. In Scottsdale, I would argue that bubble might be a little bit smaller, but we have access to a lot much closer to the vicinities of our home. And so people, places, policy is the easiest way to break it down. So when we talk about individual people engagement, it really is around empowering people to have access to the ability to make the healthy choice as that's the nudge you're into, but also the mindset that we have Power 9 principles, 9 lifestyle behaviors that we learned from those original Blue Zones that we can incorporate into our own lives. And they're intended and meant to be very, very simple so that people can choose kind of their own adventure of how they can incorporate them into their life.
Let's not focus on all 9. Let's pick a few that that people seem to really get excited about. What are some of those 9 pillars that people get excited about?
So we break them into 4 categories, and that's the easiest way. So when we think about, most people would think, right, movement, diet, those are 2 components, eating wisely and natural movement. What's great about natural movement, it's not the latest and greatest trend, it's not running marathons, it's simply moving throughout the day. Whether that's sitting, standing, walking, these are all amazing things that you can get tremendous health benefits from. From the eating side, right, of course, that's eating until we're 80% full, not a cultural norm, and it could be a differentiator of gaining weight, losing weight, maintaining weight. So these are, again, and that's inspired from Okinawa is one of our original Blue Zones. It's the Harahachibu is the
Sounds
mantra.
like I'm Blue Zoning.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm Blue Zoning. We talked about that before. I started
good.
doing what I call intermittent fasting, which is cut down to really I'm eating 1 meal a day, which is about 80% of, and even like then, again, like I'm not, I guess that 80%, I'm going to take note of that. I'm not sure I stop at 80%. But I'm saying
I would think it would be hard if you're only eating 1 meal a day to stop at 80%.
Well, I just think I don't eat as much those meals. So I'm thinking like normally I would be this. So I think it's kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting.
So
I love that.
So those are the 2 areas that I think people really automatically gravitate to. But the other areas that are, I think, equally as important are around having the right outlook. So purpose is a really big piece of the work that we do. So knowing the reason why you get out of bed in the morning, that can add significant years to your life, and not just years, but good years to your life when you have a reason to get out of bed. The other side is really that connection and belonging and having that positive pack of people around you. So when we look at the world of isolation and loneliness and how really tragic and dangerous it could be. I mean, that we've seen all the stats and studies of isolation and loneliness is the new smoking, right? It's as dangerous to your life.
Like an epidemic ranges.
Yeah, smoking 15
Hurst was
cigarettes
on
a
this
day.
Dr. Todd Hurst was on this podcast, and he said something to the effect of, it's one of the biggest predictors of longevity is your attachment to community.
Yes.
So we know it's a big deal. So the 4 pillars again. I wanted to know, it's connection, purpose.
So right outlook, eat wisely, movement, natural movement, and sort of that connection and belonging
If
piece.
somebody was like, you know what, okay, I don't live in a blue zone. Maybe I'm listening to this and I live in Gilbert, or I'm listening to this and I'm down in Ahwatukee. And what would be a good starting point for somebody to be like, I want to adopt this blue zone mindset? What would you guide them towards first? Would it be more connection? Would it be more movement? Would it be better food? Would it be purpose and outlook? What would you deem as maybe the 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that hard?
It's different for every individual, is what I would say. And so there's no one size fits all cookie cutter model to implementing Blue Zones principles into your life, because some people might be surrounded by wonderful people all the time, but they're eating horribly. So it really is a balance, but also, again, you kind of have to do your own self-reflection and assessment and kind of take ownership of, okay, if I were to look and see what I am doing, what more could I be doing? You know, there's another one of the principles that falls into Eat Wisely is wine at 5. That one seems to be a crowd pleaser in the community.
Imagine that.
Yeah, but that really is also intended. You know, I'm not encouraging to start drinking if you don't already, but also in moderation. 1 to 2 glasses, but it also around food, friendship, camaraderie, family. Who's sitting at that table with you, sharing that bottle of wine?
That's probably
with you.
more important than the actual bottle of wine. You
Bingo.
can pull anything out.
Yes.
Drink out sparkling water and you have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So,
friends at 5, wine at 5, they're all
I like it.
interchangeable.
So
Friends at
I
5.
could see that. So, for example, like me, I'll throw myself in. I'd be somebody looking at, say, maybe I'm going to the gym every day. Check. Doing that. Eating pretty healthy. Check. Really not getting out there maybe as much, and that connecting. We'll say I'm connecting here, but maybe not doing some of the social things that I like.
Sure.
We've talked about on the show.
Yeah.
So I've already identified like maybe that's a hole in my game.
Yeah. Well, and I would say the other one that is, I think still I'm a work in progress too, is the downshift principle. And that is the rest, relaxation, rejuvenation, but it also looks very different for each individual, right? Taking a nap might be how I downshift. Meditation might be for someone else. Reading a book, paying respect to loved ones lost, prayer. You know, there's a lot of different ways people can downshift, but we know as well the impact of stress and what that can have on someone, and especially in a society that is go, 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 go all the time. If we don't prioritize that self-care to take that time to replenish and fuel, that's not a sustainable model for our longevity either.
Yeah. I want to ask a question regarding crafting. If you could craft like one of these, I'm trying to imagine a perfect Blue Zone day in Scottsdale with let's say every hour, almost every hour with purpose. What does that look like?
You know, so we actually offer purpose workshops for individuals to unlock their purpose.
It's amazing.
But really, as we talk about impacting the environment that we're in, that's why we also kind of transition into the places side of the work. So as individuals, we've now said, right, I want to live better longer. I want to be part of a community that's important to. I want to help impact that change. I want to wake up with more energy and be happier. Right? We make that personal promise to ourselves as a first step. But then it's really great when we go to our workplace. And our workplace has become Blue Zones approved. And so if my workplace has a cafeteria, do I now have some healthier dining options to choose from? Is there a space for me to take a 10-minute quick mental reset break? Does my work environment have a garden or a walking path that I can go and walk with colleagues and coworkers? So that's for kind of our adult audience when we go into our workplace. We're spending an 8-hour day potentially in that work environment.
You got to find a few of those.
Is it
in between the day?
nudging us into healthy behaviors? But for our youth population, right, schools, that's the equivalent of work for our students, right? So K through 12, schools can become school approved. So there's a variety of best practices that they can choose from that incorporate these same types of principles that we now are inspiring and empowering our youth to have these tools and resources to say, I'm now equipped for many, many years to come to be prepared to make those healthy choices and then not only just survive in the world later in life, but be thriving.
So I'm listening to her talk, Steve, and all I can think about is, why on earth would every city in America not want to be a blue zone? Why? What's the rub? Why isn't this the biggest thing in the world? Is it expensive? Is it time consuming? Are there too many people who are like, screw you, if I want to eat chocolate cake and drink beer, I'm gonna.
I think it's catching on, and that's more. I think you're just they're on like everything's a front line. I think they've been kind of on the front line because everybody's biohacking. You turn on other podcasts from everybody's talking about like wanting to live longer. I mean, let's face it, like that's like the big thing, right?
Yeah, longevity.
It's a big piece. So I think I think you're right that they're not doing it, but I think they will be. I think that's starting point.
What do you know? Why aren't more cities doing this?
So they are,
okay.
and they're and Blue Zones is still a growing, evolving brand and organization. And so even though this work has been happening, right, which this is one of the things that I think is best about it is that now we've got all of these great results from all the communities that came before us. We're having and seeing tremendous impact in this community. So that just provides even additional validation of why potentially a community would want to invest in bringing Blue Zones into the community. It's really important. What I love most about our sponsor organizations that are funding this project, that again, yes, it does require financial commitment, but what that does is it now makes access to healthy living available to everyone. So Honor Health as our presenting sponsor, so that's interesting perspective, right? Here's our largest health system that's saying, no, we want you to be healthy on the front end.
Right.
We don't want you to have to expend your healthcare dollars in sickness, but this is a well care model. It's not a sick care model. It's a preventative healthcare model, not a reactive healthcare model. And when we look at the cost savings that Honor Health as a health system can see with that as a result, that's exponential in the savings that could happen. So
can I ask something really quick?
Yeah.
I'm sure that when the Blue Zones get initiated, there's a body of research that takes place, or some surveying that takes place.
Yes.
And so how often then do you guys go back in with those same surveys? Because I'm guessing in order for a city to make an investment in you, they're like, I need to see some measurable results.
Exactly.
Like, if we're going to invest in this, I got to be able to measure this.
And that's exactly what happened with Scottsdale. So Todd Laporte is the CEO at Honor Health. He reached out to the CEO in Fort Worth, Texas at Texas Health Resources. And that was the project that really inspired the work to happen here. So when we think about Fort Worth as a community, it's 3 times the size of Scottsdale. So the impact that it had and the numbers that they saw from moving the needle, how appropriate in terms of well-being improvement. Blue Zones utilizes the Gallup Well-Being Index survey as our measurement for well-being. So most would think, Scottsdale's probably faring pretty well in the well-being space,
I would
right?
think.
It's an environment
people seem happy.
Here. Yeah, they seem happy. We move here to be active and outdoors, and we've got all these amazing natural assets in our community.
A lot of good food.
A lot of good food options and access to healthy things. And so what's really interesting about that original Gallup research is that in that first measurement, yes, Scottsdale does fare about 10 points higher than the national average. So if we think about a grade, 0 to 100, 100% is your A+. National average sits at about a 58.5. So even in Scottsdale, we've got room for improvement, which as we talk about, right, this could be amazing in every community across the entire country. It absolutely could be, because it's not one size fits all. We've got this amazing model that has examples of how you can implement different ideas into your community for your community, not just coming in and doing something that doesn't work with what the community wants. So
fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. You want to hit her with a bonus question?
We have a little fun here.
Okay, all right.
So, you can install a wellness vending machine.
I like
in
it.
Scottsdale. Okay. On this in street corners. Name some of the things besides the healthy snacks that would be in that. 3 things that you'd give out instantly to boost community wellness.
Oh, that's good. Beyond healthy snacks. Well, certainly we do have
we'll throw
some
that
healthy vending.
We can throw that in there, sure.
So, things like, nuts are a great healthy snack.
Okay.
So those.
But you can pull anything out. These levers.
Anything out of the Blue Zones inspired vending machine. I would say. Oh gosh, that's really good. I would say affirmations, motivational quotes.
Okay, I love that.
Sort of that
To get them
Like,
going
you
in the
can-
morning, the purpose in the morning
like
stuff.
just
Okay.
the little pep, like the pep
pep
talk
talk.
in a bottle, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, so that would be one. I mean, I think
So you
it'd
got
be
good
great
food,
to
a pep
have,
talk,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
what
I
else you
think,
got?
I would take like a massage.
Oh yeah, baby. I like that.
Listen.
Let's set them up.
Like
A ticket comes out.
No, but Cecilia Berkley should be one of the things you pull. Have you met Cecilia?
I haven't.
She's going to be our next
Okay.
guest, and
Yeah.
she does unbelievable body work
Yeah,
for
okay.
people.
Oh,
So we need
good
to
to
have
know.
a Cecilia
Good
Berkley
to
like
know.
pull that out.
Yeah, love that.
She comes
Yeah.
right out. What is what's on the horizon for you guys here in the next 365 days? What are you working on?
So we are a project, which means we have kind of a timeline of what we have to accomplish, a whole lot of certification criteria to reach becoming a Blue Zone certified community. So as we kind of talked about, there's a certain number of schools, a certain amount of the workforce, certain amount of individuals that participate. Restaurants are getting Blue Zones approved, which is really cool too, as well as grocery stores and markets. And then we actually are also doing some really great work around policies. So when we think about food systems and supporting local agriculture, growing the local food supply, making sure everybody has access to put healthy foods and fresh produce on their tables at dinner time, those are all important things to us. We're also working kind of reduction in tobacco and alcohol excessive use, as well as youth population use. So really working alongside our young people to say, what do you want to see out there, and empowering them to help impact change. And then really encouraging natural movement, as well as encouraging social gathering in those spaces and places that already exist. Those are all things that are happening real time, and we're well on our way. We're about halfway through our transformation work. So we're just plugging away to get more schools, more restaurants, more work sites. And really, again, this is open for everybody to participate, and it comes at no cost because all of that cost has been subsidized by our sponsor organization.
So cool.
I
isn't
love it.
Yeah, if anybody wants to play, we're ready to support
I'm
them.
into it. I'm already I'm on board with like half the things already.
Good.
I'm already
See, you're
kind
happy.
of
Just a no-brainer.
signed up.
It makes so much sense
Yeah.
to have happier communities that live longer, that are just in better moods.
Yeah, I had one of
Right.
my daughter, later in life. I mean, listen, I did the math. If I want to be healthy enough to see and engage with my grandkids, if I ever have them, I got to buy into this, or
Yeah.
there's no guarantee you'll even
Right.
see them or walk her down the aisle. I mean,
Exactly.
it's and anyways, I see that. I do.
Love it. Well, Sarah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
It's
So
a pleasure.
nice to
I
have
do
you on our show.
now I know what the Blue Zone is. It makes so much
You got to
sense.
go watch a documentary.
Boom.
Yeah.
I will.
You got to go watch it.
The Blue Zones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
All
what
right.
it is.
We're going to take a
Exactly.
quick break. When we come back, we're going to sit down with the one, the only Cecilia Berkley, and you guys are going to fall
Can't
in love
wait.
with this woman. Hang tight. Hey, what's up? I'm Mathew Blades.
I'm Steve Petz, and we are.
And together we
Together.
host. Hey, what's up? I'm Mathew Blades.
I'm Steve Petz, and together we host the YouTube and podcast series Move the Needle.
And we are looking for all kinds of cool guests to appear on this YouTube and podcast series. So if you're out there, hi, sure. Hey, what's up? I'm Mathew Blades.
I'm Steve Petz, and together we host the podcast series.
Hi, my name is Mathew Blades.
I'm Steve Petz, and together we host the podcast and YouTube.
Do you not know what you do? Hi there, my name is Mathew Blades.
And I'm Steve Petz, and together we host the YouTube and podcast series Move the Needle.
That's right. So if you're somebody out there who would love to be on our podcast, and you too are moving the needle, we'd love to meet you. Who are we looking for?
People of positive impact
Yeah.
in the community, teachers,
Yeah.
coaches, business
Speakers,
business people,
nonprofit leaders,
professional athletes.
anything and everything. If it speaks to you and you'd love to be a guest on this YouTube and podcast series, hit that link below and we'd love to
How
meet
about
you.
executive directors at charities?
Okay, let's go.
Those two?
Well, welcome back. It's segment number 2 of our Move the Needle podcast.
Yes.
We're live here at Craft 64 up in Scottsdale. Voted best pie once upon a time.
Absolutely.
Now-
El Presidente says it's one of the best here in Arizona.
Our next guest is she's larger than life. And I mean that with like all the goodness that comes with that phrase.
Yes.
And I was thinking about Cecilia, who is with us right now. So let me just get the cordials out of the way. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
It's so good to see you again.
So happy to be here.
Yes.
Thank you,
Great
guys.
She was
see
one of the
you.
very first people that I ever interviewed on Learn From People Who Lived It. I came up to her
Wow.
spa,
Yes.
sat down with you in your gorgeous facility.
Thank you.
I had an incredible treatment myself, and then I bought one for my wife for Mother's Day, and she went in and had a
Yes.
treatment.
Love those.
But I was thinking about you on the way up here, and I was like, you know what Cecilia does for people that's so magical is you help people not only feel more beautiful, but you're really good at helping people see how beautiful they are too.
That's true.
That's an incredible gift
Thank you.
that you bring to people because you're working with their face, you're working with their
Yes.
body, you're working with their mind. How old were you when you knew you had this magic touch?
Oh my goodness. I don't know when I knew, but I knew when I was probably 80 years old, when I knew I loved the holistic approach on things.
Okay.
I knew that that's where I wanted to do. I love the power of plants, flowers. I was 8 years old when I discovered making my own little rose perfume. I was 8 years old.
Oh.
Pick a rose from my garden. I remember pretending that I was making a perfume. That was 8 years old.
And you loved it ever since?
I love it. My signature product, it is based on rose water.
Oh.
Yeah,
but-
we're going to talk about
we'll talk about
all
it. We'll talk
your
about it.
products. How do you describe yourself to people? Because you're not just an esthetician who does facials. It's so much more than that.
There's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
And when people ask, who are you? What do you like the most about you? I will tell you that it's my heart. It is the way I love, the way that I love with passion to just someone that I'm helping you, in general, humankind. That is the best part of me, is my heart. And when you lead with your heart, you're going to be good.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You're gonna be
I
good.
agree.
Yeah. How long has this spa been open now? It's been a few years?
It's been, since 2018.
Wow.
Yes.
Survived the
2018.
pandemic.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you have that thing that people will always need.
That's you just said it. Something that I've been thinking for a while is, I'm not trendy. This is something that people need. If you have a heart that's palpitating, you need what I have to offer.
I love
We
it.
all need to unwind and to learn to calm our mind and our hearts. We need to learn to pause a bit.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about your training because Steve, you have to go and experience what Cecilia does.
Yeah, well, one of my questions before you go there
Okay.
is regarding, because you haven't been there, and I'm trying to imagine this space, and I read that you look at your spa is not a space, it's a feeling, right?
It is a feeling.
And so if you could bottle up that feeling of energy, and I say wear like a fragrance or share, what would it smell like? What would you tell people?
It will smell like love.
Okay.
Because if you know what love is all about and you have truly felt love, you feel cared for. You feel warm. It's like a hug. It's like a hug without judging you, without asking you, pointing fingers. It's just accepting you just how you come in. It's love.
Okay.
That is the best way I can
And what does your
describe
love
it.
smell like? What's the fragrance smell like?
Maybe it could be floral.
Okay.
It could be a very
What-
exotic. It could be maybe jasmine with a little bit of rose in there.
Oh, okay, there it
Something
is.
that you're like wonder, what is that smell?
I love it.
I don't know what it is, but I want more of that.
I want love. Bring on the love.
Yeah, bring on the
want
love. Okay, so let's talk about your training because to anybody who's ever experienced anything from a 24 karat gold
Yes,
facial
yes.
to the Inner Harmony facial to the Queen Red Carpet facial to the Self-Love Body Treatment, you know that there's more happening there
There's a lot more
than
happening.
just like you're
Yes.
doing stuff on my face.
Yes.
So what is the training? How did you come in to learn all of these things?
I learned by first learning who I was.
Oh,
and
there
who
it
I
is.
am.
Okay.
I needed to learn to pause, to listen, to ask questions, and learn what my purpose was on this earth. And it's learning to be present. If you do not learn to be present, you will miss the small little details.
It's
in
truth.
life.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, and especially when you're getting a service, because
Absolutely.
that's the thing about what happens at the Cecilia Berkley Holistic Spa. Every little detail is paid attention to.
Every detail.
From the way you walk in and you see the place, to the way it smells, to the way it's set up, to all of the teas. If I don't know if that's still happening up there,
Yes,
but you had
of
all these
course,
different
everything.
teas and herbs that are sitting up there, and they're
Ooh.
all
Ginger
perfectly
elixir.
manicured. It's unbelievable. Like, you really do think about all of the details.
But it is the present. Because if you walk into a room, sometimes it feels cold. It feels like it's missing something. It's the warmth of the heart. When you walk into a place that you feel, this feels like home. I don't want to get out of here. I want to stay here for a little longer. That is the love that someone puts into that space. And when I have someone on my table, I am fully present, listening with my intuition what she or he needs. Where do I need to press to unwind all the stress that is accumulated on the face or on the ears, on the skull, all over this area.
Yeah.
There's 7 main points that we have here, and you must touch them for them to be released.
What are the 7 points?
You heard about chakras, right?
Of course.
There's many, but there's 7 main points that we have that they go with, connected with the organs.
Okay. Oh.
So when you touch them, and people may think this is hocus pocus, this is a real thing.
Oh, it's been
No,
happening for
I love
thousands
it.
of years.
No.
It's
Thousands
been
of
around,
years.
right?
But when you touch those points that are connected with your organs, could be your stomach, could be your heart, could be your liver, it will feel, this is why women and people in general feel a sense of emptiness or light like a feather, because there's been a lot flushed out.
Okay, so I want to ask some practical questions for our Arizona community. We, 90% of our subscribers and viewers live here in Arizona. What is one thing that's important to know about Arizona's climate that impacts our skin?
Well, we know the weather, especially right now, right? The heat, it will dehydrate your whole body. And dehydrating your whole body, your face will feel very dry and will touch to the top. You will feel dry. It will be more fine lines. And it's not that people may say, I'm getting old and I'm only certain age. It is that you're dehydrated. You need to hydrate, and not just with regular water. I highly recommend infused water.
Infused with what?
Infused with lemon slices or orange slices. It could be cucumber, a little bit of mint in there.
Ooh.
That is much better than just plain regular water.
Men and women need this advice, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
We have a body, even though it's different, but we still need those things. Absolutely, men and women.
Okay. Go ahead.
How often do people visit the spas? Like, I mean, you have people that's just
She'd prefer daily.
daily. But
Of
is it,
course.
but is it like is it weekly,
I
monthly?
had-
You think it's at least weekly or monthly?
Monthly, for sure.
Okay.
4 to 6 weeks is definitely needs to
I
happen.
gotcha,
Because
okay.
tell me, do you ever get stressed in your life?
Right.
Me? Oh,
Overwhelmed,
yeah, all the
just
time,
going,
right?
Just life in general,
Right.
right? So if you get stressed just because of you breathing in this world that we live in, you need someone to help you de-stress and get rid of all these toxins that are accumulated. So think about it. I had someone coming from friends that she has a home right in North Scottsdale, but she took advantage of the time that she was in North Scottsdale every week, and she owned property. She was so beyond stress that she could not walk as good because she was feeling very depressed. And she came to me for a couple of months. Towards the end of the 2 months, she whispered into my ear and she said, I need to tell you that I'm now starting to feel like human again. That was powerful to me, because towards the end she came no longer with a cane or with the wheelchair. Now I don't want people to say, oh my God, she is this healer. It is simple as flushing toxins out of the body, reducing the stress will make you feel like new again.
So, who relieves your stress?
I know how to do it.
You do.
I do know how to do it because I already know every core of my being, that I know exactly what I need. And I go back into my little room, in my little space. I make green teas or herbal teas. I know with my products how to touch. It's the 5 senses.
Yeah.
And the smells, taking the time to do some self-care is what I have done for years. So yes.
You're doing a
let's
good
talk-
job, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah,
really.
It's an unbelievable experience, and you have now your own organic skincare line. Talk to
Yes.
us about that.
Yeah.
My holistic skincare is more like nourishment for your skin and for your soul, because I use very pure, potent essence, florals, and herbs that when you smell them and just touch gently, they will go inside of your body and it makes your mind feel more calm and relaxed. Not only is it going to nourish your skin, but your soul. So I started that way before I started with my spa.
Oh, the skincare came first.
Oh.
What are part of the products? Is it face, body? Like what do you sell?
Both. It is mainly face and some body oils.
Okay.
And what do you have there? What did you bring?
Oh, this one is, now everybody's into the collagen.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So, collagen, have you seen the color of collagen?
No.
No.
It's white.
Oh yeah, I
like
have seen it. It's just like a powder.
Let's
so
see.
This is true raspberries and strawberries and acai berries. This is real fruit, and it's full of rich in antioxidants. So
How would somebody use that?
You can put it in water, on your smoothie in the morning, or in your juice.
Oh really?
This naturally helps us, men and women, to create our natural collagen that we have from within, and it doesn't disturb our organs or our stomach. Sometimes, yes, other powders can definitely affect our gut. Or
What is
women hormones.
Explain collagen to me a little bit
I hear
more.
people take. I don't hear.
people take it
I
all
hear
the
people
time.
taking it.
My
I
wife
don't know
takes it
about
all
it.
the time.
I
She
know.
looks younger now than she did when I married her. I feel like.
Your wife is absolutely beautiful, by the way. I don't even know if she needs it. She's just creating something for her because she wants to maintain.
Yeah.
Right? So it is what we have naturally. Collagen, it is a protein in our body. We are born with collagen, and when we don't produce any more collagen, after 27, 28, it kind of goes away. And that's when people start aging faster. And I believe the stress is a factor.
Huge.
I believe so. So this helps with that, releases the stress. And it's all naturally. It's just like your body accepts something that knows and recognizes versus something that is synthetic.
Can I ask you a question? Because your spa it's over the top, and I mean that as a compliment,
you.
right? It is an unbelievable place. For people that are watching our podcast right now, and maybe they just don't have the financial resources to go all in and buy a bunch of new products, and what are things that they could be doing at their house that are economical for them,
Yes.
aside from just drinking, make sure they're getting water?
Yes, I will. If I may answer that in two.
Yes.
One is that we will always find resources for something that truly is healing your body, right? We will always find a way for that, whether it's shoes, purses, clothes, or something that is really, you have to be intentional. Let's go by that.
Okay.
And what I do in one session is very impactful. You will feel it in one session. It's worth it. Now, what you can do at home, very simple. Ginger, turmeric, is a beautiful elixir.
Okay.
And these powerful roots are going to help you reduce inflammation from your body. So reducing inflammation, you're going to feel amazing, because every illness that we have comes from inflammation.
I know.
Stress, inflammation.
Yeah, I think inflammation is going to be, I know, it's just going to be one of the hottest topics that people start to talk about, is the inflammation in our body. It's the reason your hip hurts. It's the reason my neck hurts. It's the reason your back hurts.
I saw the inflammation. I had the ultrasound on there. She's like, there it is. There's the inflammation.
Yeah,
I saw it up close and personal.
I want to know how you came up with the 24 karat gold facial or the Tranquil Bliss back treatment. Like, how did you decide what would be on the menu?
Well, obviously, knowing that I'm coming with these amazing treatments, it's my signature facial, it's holistic, I needed to come with something that was so unique, and maybe women will go, it's 24 karat gold. So in a way, it is amazing, and it does serve its purpose. It helps with collagen, but I'm telling you, it's more like a hook.
Like a what?
Like just like a hook.
Yeah, a hook.
Yes,
Okay.
because once you come to me, you're gonna see what truly is it that I do.
I know.
Yes.
It is,
Yes.
and it has to be realistic. What I do, it is, you say inflammation, I reduce inflammation from the body.
Yeah.
By flushing those toxins, you will feel it. And sometimes you're like, light, like, why do I feel so light? Sometimes women forget their jewelry inside, or their sandals, whatever they're wearing. And we have to go, you forgot your rings, or because you feel light.
Amazing.
Can I have a little fun with Cecilia?
Yeah,
here?
let's go. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's have
All
some
right,
fun as we kind of
Cecilia.
wind down.
Am I
here.
ready?
Yeah. All right. You're stranded on a desert island.
Okay. Never happened for
It's
Cecilia.
It's a luxury island, of course.
Oh. Okay, maybe
but
it
you
will
can only
happen.
bring 3 of your holistic items, 3 items
Okay.
from your spa
3.
for your survival
Okay.
to make you look fabulous.
Okay.
What's in the startup? What's in your kit?
Definitely my Silky Rose.
Silky
I need
Rose.
it. It protects me from the sun. It nourishes my skin. It hydrates my skin. Rose
Okay.
water.
Boom.
Another.
2 rose waters. That's 2.
I'll take this because I don't care if I drink it with the water from the ocean.
Wait, is
but
that count? Is that 3 or is that
yes,
still part of 2?
that's
That's 3.
Radiant.
That's all you got?
Antioxidant.
Boom, boom,
you
boom.
said it. That's it.
Collagen. Okay, that's it.
That's it. Nourishment for the body. Forget about the collagen. It does all of that, but
Okay.
it's nourishment. It
Okay.
will nourish me.
Okay, got you. I'm just learning about that, so it sounds
Yes.
like it's a lot more than.
You have good
It's done.
skin, though. I mean,
Thank you.
I
I
mean,
mean-
He
you-
does.
Yeah, you
So
have a
you
good
appreciate
skin.
that.
Yeah.
Mine's
I-
all right. I have lines, but I'm happy with my lines because I call them laugh lines.
Yeah.
Like I just laughed a lot my whole life.
I think mine
Okay.
are. I think it's a lot. There's also genetics involved. My mom has. You know, what I'm saying, like there's. You know, some there's genetics possibly, but I take
yeah.
care of it though. I
But
do.
yes, you do. But my beauty comes. It's not just outside.
Of course.
That's not.
Because I know where your I know
yes.
where your inspiration really comes from.
Absolutely inside. So
Yes.
the rest is like yes. Yeah,
Yes.
No, we're fine.
How do people find you? What's the best way to get involved with Cecilia Berkley?
I have a website.
You sure do.
I have a couple, but if you go to one website, CeciliaBerkley.com, simple, you'll find everything you need there.
Okay.
All my programs, everything I have.
I think I got to check it out. I'm into this
There's
stuff.
no thinking. You
Yeah, I
I think everybody on
know.
planet Earth should experience what this woman does at a minimum one time.
I know you were so excited when she was coming on. You're like, you
I know.
can't wait.
When
yeah.
I saw your name on the sheet, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I love that we're gonna have you on our podcast.
Thank you. Can I say one thing? And this is the unpopular opinion, guys. I am thrilled to work with women and helping them go back to their feminine energy.
Yeah.
That is what I love the most. The gentle, the heart, the love, the gentleness, the being true to a female. You're a female, you were born a female. That gentleness is what drives me to do what I do. Without that soft, loving touch, I could not do what I do. I could not.
We
do
need
it.
more of that. Let's bring it on, right?
Yeah.
Love that.
I want the men to be the men. And if I cannot open the jar, I'm going to ask you, could you please open this for me?
That I can do.
Because I cannot. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't want to be a man. I don't want to do your job.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do mine.
And I don't want to do yours.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love
fine.
that. I love that
All right.
attitude.
We will link to Cecilia in our show notes so that
Yes.
people can go and experience it. The signature facial is called what?
That it is the harmony.
The harmony one.
facial.
Okay. Yeah. I got that for my wife, and she
That's
raved about
the
it for
bomb?
weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks
Yeah.
and months. Right? Like it's pretty incredible. So we'll get that in the show notes just so you can have a peek at it. And sincerely, it's so good to see you
Yeah.
again.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for being on our show.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
Happy to be here. Honored to be here.
All right.
you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to sit down with our third and final guest. You're going to meet Janie Peters. And why would you want to hang out for this one?
Oh.
Well, listen, if you're somebody who is
Like me?
getting in front of the camera more and more, maybe it's social media, maybe it's speaking, maybe it's just getting outside your comfort zone. She's somebody who helps build confidence in women that want to get behind the camera for that purpose.
And men too.
And men too. So stick around. Hi there, my name is Mathew Blades.
And I'm Steve Petz. And together we host the YouTube and podcast series, Move the Needle.
And we're reaching out to you because we're looking for incredible guests in our community who are doing just that, moving the needle. So who are you thinking?
Restaurant owners, business owners,
Yes.
educators, coaches.
Professional baseball, football, basketball, whatever, former athletes, nonprofit leaders, speakers, authors. If you're moving the needle in our community, we'd love to feature you on our podcast.
Really, if you're a person of impact, positive impact, trying to transform
You don't want
people's
anybody
life-
with negative impact?
No negative
Okay,
impact.
that
No
seems fair.
negativity. That's the only criteria. How about that?
All right, if you're interested in being a guest on our Move the Needle YouTube and podcast series, hit the link below, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back. It's segment number 3 of our Move the Needle podcast. This is episode number 47, which we found out earlier is Steve's favorite number.
Yes, my number.
We're live at Craft 64 up in Scottsdale, and now we're going to sit down with somebody who helps shy CEOs and quiet leaders build authentic on-camera confidence. Why would this be important for you to pay attention to? You're like, I don't care. I'm not going to be behind a camera. Well, because you're going to interact with people. You're going to have experiences at church, with your family, with your friends, with people you meet. And the kind of confidence that I believe Janie Peters offers people is valuable. So welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you,
Yes,
guys.
thank you.
Happy to be here.
A little bit more of a gentle introduction than our mutual friend Teresa Porter got.
Yeah,
Poor
give a
Teresa.
shout out for
That
I
love
don't feel
Teresa.
bad for her.
was
She's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
rolled
she's
with the
awesome.
punches for sure.
She's got a good sense of humor. And everything I said was true.
Yeah.
It's just that she does it all in a
It's just
healing
the
way.
context
Yeah,
of it,
right,
yes.
right. It's
Hilarious.
Yeah.
not
It
a
was
sexual
really
thing.
Got
good.
it. Yeah.
So when did you get interested in helping CEOs and quiet leaders build this authentic on-camera presence?
Okay, and I want to say, for starters, I know you're referencing my title on LinkedIn, which I recently, probably after you saw it, revamped. Because
good for you.
It's really more. It's business leaders. It's anyone who's looking to increase their visibility and show up on video.
I called it video. I found video communications coach. I called you.
And I haven't
it?
been too particular with what I call myself, because I just want
That's
to
what I
know
called you.
that you can call me that.
I like
it's
it.
totally fine.
Yeah.
But I basically help people to show up on camera. And how I got into it was back in 2016. I know, so far.
way,
so long
way,
ago.
way backwards.
Yeah. And I was getting started with video to promote my real estate business. And I just knew that being I was pretty new into this business, and I mean, it's a saturated market, right? I mean, it's heavily competitive. And I'm like, who am I? How am I going to stand out?
Right,
I've got to do video. And it was awkward, and it ended up taking so much of my time. And the way I say it that really kind of captures it all is that I would spend so much time before creating the content, and then so much time filming it, so much time in post-production, and by the end of it, I would have removed my personality completely. And when you're showing up on video, that was the lesson I learned all those years ago, and I'm still a student of it. It's a practice, but it's just showing up as who you are. Because when you show up as who you are on camera, you're able to bridge that connection with the viewer. And that's what every business owner or leader of business is ultimately, I would hope, trying to do if they're showing up on video.
I love
Yes.
this
To really
so much.
connect.
I do too.
Connect.
Of course, my former life as a radio personality for 28 years, I ran into this all the time, where you'd run into different radio jocks who were like, they were all trying to be somebody else.
Right.
And they would say to me, like, how do you do what you do, and why do you do what you do? And and the biggest compliment I would receive is, you're the same off the air as you are on the air. And I said, that's because I'm not trying to be somebody else.
You just said that's the biggest compliment.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me as I started getting good at it. Someone said to me, Janie, you're the exact same on
Right.
camera. And I'm like, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's where I think you're trying to
why-
get people,
Why
right?
is that so hard to do, right?
I know why it's hard, because people, it's not natural for them.
All right.
So they see somebody else doing it and they go, I got to do it like that.
Right.
That's what I think happens.
Right.
And it's great to kind of emulate people who are good at their craft. That's one thing. Like, let's
Right.
cherry pick what we like about their delivery.
Right.
How do they look at the camera? Where do they tilt their chin? Are they shoulders this way? I mean, there's like a lot of nuances to this.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, like, you got to be yourself before anybody's going to care about it.
Right. It's finding that balance, because I totally agree. Like, it's good to emulate someone that you respect when you're starting to become that spokesperson. You're starting to elevate your visibility out there, because I learned the hard way, because there were no coaches that were doing
Right.
specifically what I am doing back when I was getting started in it. So I'd have to just painstakingly watch my videos back. Oh, and for people who don't watch their videos back,
Okay, this is good.
big mistake.
This is it.
How do you learn if
How
you don't?
do you learn?
But I learned, for me specifically, I rolled my eyes a lot. I bobbed my head a lot. Like, there
Right.
were things that I could improve on. And then there were things that they're just me, and I had to accept them. like in life, and that's how you liberate yourself to be free of self-expression. And it's really a beautiful thing when you get to that point.
Oh my
when
God.
you just don't care. You
so
just
much that I
don't
wanna talk to her
care
about.
what
Yeah.
people think about you.
Yes.
I told you, love her. We had
We
that
had the
conversation.
best conversation.
Because
Steve and I
listen,
were like-
listen. Let's face it. As you guys are talking, I'm all ears because I'm an absolute newbie at
Yeah.
this, and I love it because I feel like I am my natural self because of my. It's segued from my past life to this life, the content. So I also feel like that when you feel comfortable about whatever you're doing, you like the subject you're doing, which I do.
That's important.
And I
yes.
felt like I came in, it's like I was talking with not exactly Janie Peters. We were covering people like Janie Peters for years. So the content, I absolutely love it. I love this show in that regards. Now, I'm picking up little tidbits that I'm not doing, and I'm going to talk to you afterwards and kind of get your critique on it, because I'm
But
interested in that.
I want to add something to
Yeah.
what you said. You said I'm comfortable being myself, and
Right.
that's the big thing out there that people think, well, if I'm going to get on camera, I got to be this or I got to be that, and I got to be over the top.
So here's the deal, Janie. It's not, when I'm sitting here, audience out there, this is how I think. It's not about me. The show has nothing to do about me. I've got some good questions. It's about you and our guests and the people moving the needle. I guess in a sense we are, and we're part of that. But in my mind, really, if I want to do a good job for our show, my partners and the audience, I got to deliver good questions for you. I got to show
Right.
you. And
Right.
so in that sense, that's really kind of where my mindset is. And so I don't want to be anybody else. Who would I want to be asking those questions besides me? I think I would get confused, which I already am.
It's a great tip,
sometimes.
Steve, and you probably offer this to your audience, which is serve them. Like, what are you going to
Yeah.
put on the camera that's going to make their life better?
Yes.
How do you
But-
solve their problem?
Right.
There's a caveat to that. As
course.
much as your content is for the viewer, you have to bring yourself into your message. You have to infuse your message with you. I get a head nod over there. Thank you. Because that's what gives your message credibility.
Okay.
Anyone can look up on YouTube, AI, ChatGPT, and find out, what their talking points of any subject matter now, right? That's easy. But it is your experience, your education, your expertise that you're bringing to the subject matter, and most importantly, your enthusiasm and conviction for what you're talking about. So it's felt through the lens.
Well, now she's got me fired up because
Okay,
I came ready, Janie.
Let's
Listen.
go,
So
let's go.
so to me,
All right.
this is my meat and potatoes. I did my homework. These aren't, and Mathew read these. These aren't talking point questions. I don't know if anybody on the planet could think of my questions. I spent a lot of time at these.
Okay, let's
They're
go.
authentically
Let's
Steve.
go.
This
All
is
right,
authentically
all right,
Steve.
all
We're
right.
gonna throw. So confidence on camera obviously is a superpower, right? That's what we all preach. We want confidence.
I think
right?
anyone can achieve it. Yes.
Right. So let's be honest, it's not a one size fits all. How do you help people bring their quirks, their accents, their imperfections to make their brand gold? So talk to me about talk about that.
It's really about just being comfortable. And I say just, it's not just as a loaded word. It's being comfortable in who you are.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, it's accepting yourself for all of your great accomplishments and what you love about yourself and your favorite, angle of the camera. But it's also accepting your flaws and owning that.
Okay.
And when you can really accept your entire package, then you have this freedom to explore. Because like what you said, you have to love the subject matter. That's absolutely true. Like in my past lives and working in corporate America or working in advertising agencies and representing different brands, I was just a robot. So it was hard for me to speak on behalf of any business. This is what I feel because I've been through this. I've been through this struggle. So I get it. And I see how it opens up opportunities for people once they can finally let go of what they're so desperately holding on to and afraid of letting people in. I mean, think about it. You're going to a networking event. You're socializing. Do you show people all of you right from the start? Or do you slowly let them in on who you are? That's the natural way of getting to know people. The camera doesn't care about that natural way of getting to know people.
It's like
the camera wants to see you for who you really are right away. Let's just pull back those curtains. and it's about doing that, and it seems unnerving, and so it's not. I don't think it's something that you can learn. You can. I mean, I did. But it's going to take a lot longer if you're going through the motions on your own and you're showing your video to your spouse or your friend. Like, how does
right? They're all going to say you look great.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. What else you got on that?
No, I get some good critique, so I do appreciate that.
But those little idiosyncrasies that make a person unique, like it's about owning them.
Basically, I understand, and you explain something why I think I am where I am in the place of this, and that is that I think I'm a place in time in my life. I've been through so much. I've had to accept my imperfections, especially the last 5 years. I've had some transforming life events that I've gotten through. Mm-hmm. And again, like you finally, like, I think sometimes you end up and you wake up in the morning like, okay, this is me. That's it. I mean, now I've got some years under my belt, and it's like, right? And so you kind of like, this is it, and you're like ready to put that imperfection forward.
Yeah.
And then even as I'm babbling now, which is people are saying like, cut it off, let her talk. See, that's an imperfection and a quirk I have, which I need to curtail.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I just want to say, Steve, don't sell yourself short. Don't say, well, that's it. I mean, think about all the people who absolutely adore you.
Oh.
And you, when you work your Steve charm, how you can light up a room. I mean, I know you have that ability, even having met you, talking to you on the phone for a while and meeting you here. But it's not selling yourself short. It's really owning, like, wow, wait a minute. People really do like me.
I feel good, and I do. I feel good about myself and what I'm doing. I've come to that realization in life, like really, like, I guess, like, in the simple sense, like, I'm just a good guy. I mean, like, let's have that, like, I'm working for, I love my fellow brothers and sisters, and I'm part of the community. I love being part of the community. And these guys know, my partners, Max, Mathew, know, even behind the scenes, and we're all part of this. We're passionate about this project, Move the Needle, for what it represents and the people, really what's behind it. And so anyways, it's, again, like, for me, it's easy to get on board. I'm so interested to see after this comes out to get your critique, but again, like, I let it
I
fly.
want to talk shop.
Let's
Can
go
we
for
talk
it.
shop a little bit?
You go ahead.
There's a really big difference. This is one of the things that I would coach people if I was in your shoes, and so I'm going to ask you this question. I would say there's and I've said this to Steve before, there's a big difference between having a conversation with somebody at the dinner table and having a recorded conversation. They are two different things. Give me your thoughts on how you're coaching people through that process.
My coaching is primarily focused on looking directly into that dark lens and bringing your personality through it, and imagining how your viewer is emoting back to you. So I hear a lot of times people will say, "Oh, I'm great one-on-one." Like, who isn't? Like, I mean, if you're not good one-on-one, that's where you need to start. Like, because that's what you're building from. And then you take it to the lens, and it's a practice. It's flexing a muscle that you don't have naturally. It doesn't even exist in your body, like, to look into a piece of equipment and imagine that that's a person listening back. But I found, like, when you referenced the shy CEOs, I find that happens a lot. That's one group of individuals that I target. But now that I've been dabbling in the public speaking space, I've been shocked to realize that so many amazing public speakers who can take a stage and look out and address a big crowd of people and take the spotlight don't get to have this this discomfort with the lens.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
And what I feel that is because even though speaking into the lens is definitely a form of public speaking, in the sense I'm talking about, you're creating content and you're putting it out there. You're putting it on your website. You're putting in social media content. You're creating it internally for your organization or externally to attract new clients, or however you're using video, but it's one to many. The difference is with in-person public speaking is it's intimate. It is very.
There's there's
it's
people there.
Literally what I was going to interrupt and ask you with. I said, I think they fear intimacy.
Yes.
That's what it is. They fear intimacy. Can you
Yes.
look at me right in the eye, and can you just talk to me like a real person?
Let's see it. Let's
for
see
20
that.
or 30 seconds, right?
Sure.
Can you not break contact with me? And will you just let me see you, and will you see me? Because I think when you lock into that, now you have this ability to talk to people in a real way.
Yeah.
And right now you feel engaged. That's what you're
That's a
trying to do on the
beautiful thing.
camera, right?
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the magic sauce.
Absolutely.
Here's a question for you, and I know we can kind of wind down, but do you think that people could do themselves a disservice by jumping on the camera if they're not really ready?
Absolutely.
Because I think so too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And a lot of people will dismiss it. They'll say, well, I just don't know what to say.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm fine on camera. Are you really? I've heard that from a lot of people. And I'm not naming any names, but not quite.
Mathew Blades.
This guy right here. No, a lot of people are energetic. I just did a screenshot video last night of some ad I saw on LinkedIn of this guy, and he's really like into his message, and he is reading from a script, teleprompter below the lens. So his eyelids are dropped, and he's like just talking, but you can tell.
So it's like a robot.
Yeah, I mean, you're reading. So that's another thing. It's that I don't believe in reading a script at all, because if you're reading to someone, if I picked up that and then looked at you and read your question, like, I'm not connecting with you.
Right.
You know I'm reading.
Right.
And so I forgot what your question was.
Well, it's just, can you hurt yourself jumping on? And I think you can.
I believe so, absolutely. Because if you feel it's too stiff and flustered, your audience feels that, whether it's in person or not. I mean, we've all been there where we've watched a speaker, we're like, oh, geez, this is uncomfortable. I can see her knees shaking, or even on camera. And that was my earlier experience, just getting really stiff and sweating everywhere and just like sharp movements and really like a deer in headlights. That absolutely, it can damage your credibility.
All right, Janie, here you go.
Here's the wind down. Let's get to the bonus questions.
If you're on camera coaching style, we're a celebrity. Who would it be? And what would their hype tagline be as they strut onto set?
Okay, wait, I don't know if I'm following that question. If my
coaching style were a celebrity, pick a celebrity that's kind of like your mojo.
Okay, well,
who would
that's
it be?
easy.
And what would the hype tagline be to go along with it, like when they're walking in? So who's your celebrity?
Okay, well, it would be Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, go for Oprah.
And it would be...
She's walking out.
Just embrace yourself.
That's it.
Embrace yourself.
There we go. I pulled it out of you.
That was great. That was great. Great job, Steve.
Thank you.
What other bonus questions do you have?
Okay, so this is a little bit bonus. You teach leaders how to be seen, heard, and trusted. But what's the one thing people don't realize is silently breaking trust with their audience in a video?
In a video, because mostly the trust comes from consistency.
Okay.
It's showing up, and that's what builds trust, for sure.
So maybe just a lack of
consistency.
Okay.
You're not there. Are you still in the business? What's going on?
That's the real answer to it. Because if somebody's showing up and working hard.
Here's another thing, because in my Facebook community, I don't know why, but for the past 5 years now, I've been going live every single day in the month of June. So I'm now 5 days into it, and I just called myself out from a video I did yesterday. And what I did was I said something, because you're live, you're mic'd, whatever says here. I don't see much editing in your podcast. It's just like you roll with bad stuff. You roll with it, whatever you got. I'm sure you've caught yourself saying things afterwards. You're like, was that right? Or I don't know if that was that in integrity. And I said something yesterday that was not quite in integrity, and it was just, for context, I was driving and I witnessed a fender bender. And I was explaining, because I do a PSA every year saying, please do not create video content and drive. Please, people, don't do that. And I mentioned that I looked up and I saw everyone braking, and I said, wait, I didn't look up, and I just got caught in the moment. And so I came clean today, because I feel that when anyone says something that's not within integrity, they want to be perceived a certain way. But we all have that radar in us when we can. It's the BS meter.
We
right?
have to live.
Like,
we have to call ourselves out, right? It's ourselves. Are we?
Right.
We walk in the walk.
And so when you're saying something that you are not completely aligned with, that can show up. You don't have control. I mean, unless you're a phenomenal actor, that's something that you can do to break trust within a video, I feel.
Get that.
Amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would love for people to link up with you because, like I said in my introduction, it isn't just about your own TV show anymore. Almost every business leader is behind a camera in some way, shape, or form now, with their phone, with their whatever.
Right.
What's the best way to get in touch with you, and how would you like people to engage with your services?
LinkedIn right now. Janie Peters is my name, and I'll provide you with the links and stuff that you can
put
put
them in the show notes, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Very
that's
cool.
the easiest way to get in and get going.
Absolutely,
What does
yeah.
it look like to start working with you? Is it like one-on-one? Is it Zoom sessions? Is it
It's
in
a one-on-one. We'll do a discovery
Okay.
call, 15 minutes, to see if I'm the right person, or if not, I can, I have lots of people that I, refer off to, and so it's finding out if the need's right and we're a fit, because
Okay.
we have to be. It's an intimate experience, and so it has to be a good fit to make sure.
What's the length of the coaching? Is it like infinite, or you have a program?
It's 90 days.
Yeah,
I got a
okay.
90-day program, and
I love that.
Depending, I mean, it really, as with any coaching program, it's all about what the
What you're putting in.
client puts into
Yeah.
it. And so as long as there's that commitment from the other side within 90 days, I work on all kinds of things. Your sound bites, when you're showing up, a lot of people professionals who are showing up on camera and speaking, they have their arsenal of sound bites. So you don't have to think all the time, right?
Right.
You just know what to say.
Yeah.
It sounds good. So that's the tidbit of things that I work on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's really customized to what that individual
And
needs.
it's such a good, like, I have that skill, right? I have this ability to, get on camera, and I know what they're looking for. Like, I know what's going to make the cutting room floor, and I know what's going to make the camera. And when you can kind of hone in on those things, then you really start to key in on your phrasing and how you're going to set things up. And
Absolutely.
people will ask me all the time, like, well, what if they ask me a question I don't know the answer to? I'm like, what do politicians do? Think about what a politician does. They ask a question, and they don't even answer that question.
They answer something
They
else.
walk you
Just
to where
answer.
they want you to go. And
like when I said earlier, I'm like, I don't even know what the question was,
Yeah.
because I was answering whatever I wanted to, and not that I was
Yeah.
And you were
disrespecting
answering
you,
it,
but
though.
I
You
was
did.
answering the question.
Just elaborated.
But if it's a tough question that you do not want to answer and you're a politician, like,
Yeah,
yes,
you
there
deflect.
are definitely ways to go around that, and it's knowing and having memorized those sound bites. So it's not like you're going on autopilot and you're not thinking. I mean, but you can really breathe into your delivery of how you answer
I love it.
certain
I'm a
questions.
Janie
Thank you
Peters
so
fan.
much.
I'm so glad you came
Hey,
on. Thank you.
Me too.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. I can't wait
Yeah.
for
right.
a little advice.
Great job
for
on the
sure.
show
Thank you,
today.
thank you,
The
Mathew.
theme is blue. We had the blue zone
Yeah.
We're blue.
as
So
we
I'm
got
just-
going on.
We always look. Yeah, we're always in simpatico. I love that.
Yeah, it worked out really nicely. And thank you guys so much
Yes.
for watching our YouTube series and our Move the Needle podcast. Whether you're listening to us or you're watching us, we certainly appreciate it. And if you missed our big announcement a couple of days ago, officially now over the 7,000 subscribers and more than 100,000 views on the podcast.
Yes, well over that.
So
Nice.
it's just really remarkable
Yeah,
to
we're
have
excited.
you along for the ride.
Yeah, thank you for your feedback as well.
Okay.
Positive.
All right, we'll see everybody next time. Thanks for
thank you.
watching.